Okay, great. So hello everyone. Good morning or good evening, depending on which part of the world you are. My name is Amitabh Dey, and I work as OpenStack Technical Marketing Manager or Helion Product Technical Marketing Manager for HP Helion worldwide. So I used to be in Singapore, and I recently relocated to San Francisco Bay Area just a week back. And so my friends in Asia, so I think I probably have met you or spoken to you. Okay, so here we are going to talk about HP Helion. In the HP Helion, so there is an entire range of products and services that we cater to, but our most focus will be on HP Helion OpenStack distribution, what it does, what is its value proposition, what we are trying to do from HP side, and also HP Helion Development Edition or the PaaS edition. So, Stephen, can we go to the slide? Yeah, we're currently on slide. Yeah, the first number 3 slides, please. The previous slide. Number 3. Yeah, thank you. So we'll start with, I know that there are a lot of experts here on this particular forum. This is a very interesting forum. I have been following up on this forum and have been interacting with quite a lot of you and Rafael and Stephen as well. And so the only disclaimer that I wanted to give it to you is that so this is supposed to be a very overview kind of thing. So it's not a very deep technical Helion in-depth overview kind of. So it is more of a product and the technology and our vision on this. And eventually, once we go forward, so there will be technical deep dives. Right, so the first thing is what is cloud? I think this is the cloud has become a pretty much standard in the infrastructure right now, and so we all know what is cloud, and of course since you are in this particular online meetup, so you know what is OpenStack. I'm sure 99.99% people know. So yeah, let's go to slide number 4. Where it says what is the NIST's definition on cloud. So typically there are 3 models. Like one is the how do you call infrastructure service as a cloud? So what are the different characteristics, or what are the different cloud architecture or deployment models? And then there are service models are there. So by characteristics, NIST says that it has to be on-demand self-service. So it is any user can on-demand provision services or request services. Broad network access, so you can access over the web or over the WAN or LAN. Resource pooling, so you can pool your resources from different service providers or different infrastructure, hardware and software. Rapid elasticity, so it can grow as much as you want or as needed. Measured service, so whatever you consume or a user consumes, that can be measured in a utility computing or metering service that we say. Then on the cloud architecture or the deployment models, so cloud can be divided into multiple types of clouds, commonly say. One is private cloud, where mostly the enterprise companies or small and mid-sized companies, they build a cloud for their own consumption internally. So basically the infrastructure stays in the customer's own premises or the client's own premises, and they are the one who consume this. So for example, if it is say like a company like HP, and HP builds a private cloud for its own employees, like say for example HP IT brings out a private cloud for HP's different divisions. So the different tenants will be like HR, finance, marketing, etc. So then there is a community cloud like school projects, government, hospitals, healthcare. So where it is for the community purpose, and then there is a public cloud like Amazon AWS and Azure and VMware VCHS, etc. And HP's public cloud as well, and Rackspace. Then there is hybrid cloud concept, where hybrid cloud is one concept where the entire enterprise industry is moving towards. So when we say hybrid, so it's basically a combination of the above three types of clouds, and where basically you can move your workloads seamlessly or almost seamlessly from private cloud to public cloud, and vice versa. Right. So, and then there are service models. It depends on what kind of services that you are providing to your customers, whether it is a software as a service, like your Office 365 or Google Apps, or Gmail, in fact, even. Or platform as a service, where you have Cloud Foundry or Heroku like services, where the developers did not to set up their own infrastructure, and they can just go and select their integrated development environment ID, and choose, like, for example, if I'm a developer and I look Python, Django, and MongoDB kind of environment, I can just go and select, and whatever the infrastructure requirements or how many VMs it requires to deploy those development toolkit, so that will be automatically developed. So, and I can just go ahead and I can develop whatever the software that I want to create, or whatever the application that I want to build, and I can run and execute itself on the PaaS platform. So usually for SaaS and PaaS, the underlying infrastructure is always an IaaS. So IaaS is an infrastructure as a service, where basically you get your VMs, you get a storage, you get network, and so on. Stephen, slide number 5, please. Thank you. So how cloud can be used? So if you look at different model, I think I have already covered it, but yeah, let me go through this. So if you see on the top layer is software as a service, SaaS, and the middle layer is PaaS, and the bottommost layer is IaaS. So in IaaS, typically what we consume is server or the computing, which is the VMs. Then there is a storage. So you want storage on demand. So it could be a fast storage like SSD kind of, or a flash, or it could be a slow storage, or it could be a Swift-like option where you want to build up massive large-scale storage, but it may not be that efficient in terms of IOPS. Right, and then you have network, so you can get a VPN as a service, or router as a service, and DHCP as a service, and all the kind of things. So when you get it, when you are assigned as a tenant, and whatever the required network services like your DNS, DHCP, routing, netting, etc. So all you get inside within the tenant. So you get basically network as an utility, right? So then there is a database as a service like Trove project in OpenStack. So instead of, like, traditionally we have used databases like Microsoft SQL and Oracle and MySQL. So those are or even to start with Foxbase and FoxPro and MS Access. So typically what we do is that we install these databases on our own system, and then we create tables, we create databases and tables, right? So, and when the system grows, when the tables and databases grow, it becomes it becomes a huge pain to maintain those infrastructure, right? So if you look at from an DB admin's perspective or an application owner's perspective, all we care is the database, but we still have to maintain the underlying infrastructure, right? So database as a service, what it provides is that you don't have to really care about what's the underlying infrastructure. So what you get is basically you just get an instance of a database, or you probably get a table or a database. So those are things, and then there is other. So when you say other, so it could be say Hadoop as a service. So this could be one of the options here, and so yeah, and then platform PaaS as a service. So you can get all the different kinds of framework. Now, for example, if you remember in .NET or even Visual, I'm sure there are a lot of people here like me who came from a C background, right? And then we got into Visual C++ and Visual Basic, the IDE integrated development environment, right? So in that case, what happens is that there are multiple toolkits that come: Visual Source, Visual C++, Visual Basic, and I forgot a couple of other stuff out there. So yeah, so for everything that we needed a different machine to install. I mean, if you really wanted to be and that scale out kind of thing. So now with PaaS, so you don't have to really care about what is the underlying infrastructure. So basically, the moment you go to your PaaS service, you just say that, okay, I need .NET framework, and what it does is that, okay, within the .NET framework, what are the different tools out there? What are the different request or service out there, like say PHP.NET, etc. So it will go ahead and provision all the required VMs to host all the development toolkits. So as a developer, you really don't have to bother about all the things happening on the IaaS layer. Right, and the beauty of it is that in a PaaS environment, you don't just get you just don't get one environment. You can choose Ruby, Python, PHP, or whatever other frameworks as well, based on whatever the language that you are used to or you would like your application to be developed onto. Right. So once you get that. Another thing is that so when you develop your application and you want to run and execute and you want to test, debug, all those things, so that everything can be done on that particular framework itself, or the PaaS itself. So you don't have to do it, download your codes on your local machine, test and debug and execute and then compile and then make the application, right? So everything is done on the fly. Right, and the best part of the PaaS is that once your application is ready, and if you want to deploy that application, so basically when any application that requires an OS, right? So and then any OS requires a VM or a machine, physical machine, right? So in PaaS environment, that will also be done automatically. Right, so there are popular Cloud Foundry kind of environment PaaS, which is an open source project, and HP is doing the PaaS environment, offering the PaaS environment as Helium Development Edition, so which we'll talk about a little later. Then there is software as a service, SaaS. Sales or CRM, Salesforce. I'm sure we all know about Salesforce. IT management softwares. So there are BMC Remedy-like tools, all the ticketing tools that we have traditionally used, now available, or even Clarify-like tools, ticketing tools, now available on software as a service. So you don't have to. I remember when I used Clarify 10 years back, and how painful it was to install Clarify and have a SQL database, multiple SQL cluster database, etc. So you don't have to do it now. All you just do is that you go to the Clarify service provider or BMC service provider. You just say that, okay, I need this much of instances of BMC Remedy or Clarify. Then there are different HR softwares, software as a service like Workday, and for mail you have Office 365, Google Mail, etc. And the financial softwares are there. Their banking and financial softwares are there. So let's move to slide number 6, please. Okay, so what is OpenStack Cloud Software? I don't think the participants here in this forum requires an introduction on OpenStack. But yeah, a series of interrelated projects. Why we say interrelated projects is that there are multiple projects. When OpenStack started with very few projects like Nova, etc. Now it has grown up to multiple projects, and these are interrelated to each other in terms of these projects do not operate in a silo environment. So for example, if there's a project for compute, Nova, so Nova interacts with Cinder. So for example, when Nova gives a VM, so the VM needs a storage, so it interacts with Cinder. So there is a reason that it's an interrelated project. So that controls pools of compute, storage, and networking infrastructure exposed as a consistent and open layer API. So it has a common API, OpenStack APIs, for a heterogeneous infrastructure environment. Right. OpenStack software delivers a massively scalable cloud operating system. I think one of the best example is to look at HP's public cloud or Rackspace, look at Expedia. And I was hearing somebody was telling me yesterday, I think it was General Motors or somebody. So they moved into, Walmart, I think. They moved to OpenStack as well. Right. Okay, slide number 7, please. Okay, so out of the 3 layers that we talked about, SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS, so OpenStack is primarily for IaaS. So what it provides is it provides the computing power, CPU memory, storage space, and networking. Now, users, as a user, you will create tenant, you will create the VMs, you will create the networks within your tenant. You will storage and deploy images. So you will basically get your the amount of storage that you want to create, or whatever is allocated. Like for example, if 1 terabyte of storage has been allocated to you, and you want a portion of that, so as a user you have all the flexibilities to do it. Now the official website of OpenStack is openstack.org. New release every 6 months. So every 6 months there is a new release of OpenStack software. And the previous one was in April 2014, which was named as Icehouse. So it follows the alphabetical order: A, B, C, D, I, E, F, G, H. So this was Icehouse, and the current one is October 2014. It was Juno. And the next one is going to be April 2015 is Kilo. And it is purely open, and it is distributed under Apache 2.0 license. Right. Okay. So this is the most simple slide, I think. So all the different projects like of OpenStack. So when I say OpenStack, so this is so there's a proper. So OpenStack is I wouldn't call OpenStack as a software, but I think it's more like as a toolkit where you build your own cloud operating system or own cloud software. So think about OpenStack more as a software toolkit rather than just a software, right? So when I say this, it means that you can actually take OpenStack and create your own version of OpenStack, and that's why you probably see in the market that there are different distributions of OpenStack, like HP Helium OpenStack, and then there are Mirantis, then there are Red Hat and others. Okay, so these are the major different projects. Horizon for dashboard services, where the user interacts with different services. Then there is a heat orchestration. So underlying, like for example, if you want to, this is an automated workflow kind of environment. So you want to run the automated workflow. So heat do all the automation. Then there is Swift object storage, right? For example, services like Netflix or services like Dropbox, where you want to have a huge amount of storage, or you want to store media and movie files or something like that, which often do not require editing. So it's just the opposite of the block storage. So that's Swift. And then there is a glance image. So for example, if you want to deploy your VM with a particular image or particular type of, when I say particular type, it's an OS type, is whether it is a Linux, like for example, I made a SUSE Linux, this version, or I need a Red Hat RHEL, this particular version, or I need a Windows 7 or Windows 8. So there are different image services out there, and then there is Nova Compute, so where like Amazon AWS has EC2 instances, so this is equivalent to the EC2 instances. Where you get your compute. So in traditional environment, we get the infrastructure as a server or a machine. So here we get as a VM. Right. So Cinder block storage. Okay. So before that, so I also wanted to mention that. So when I say in an Nova compute, so we don't not necessarily we just get as a VM. You can have the physical infrastructure or the bare metal as a service as well, right? Then Cinder block storage, for it, Cinder block storage is probably the most compared or very similar to your C and D drive that you get on your local machine, or the /root and the /homeware, whatever. And the Neutron project, it provides all the networking services, right from creating the virtual routers, VPN, DHCP, DNS, etc., netting, etc. So Keystone Identity Services. So if you're familiar with Microsoft Active Directory kind of environment, or NTLM authentication, so you can think about Keystone provides a similar kind of authentication. The beauty of Keystone is that it can integrate multiple. So if you have Open LDAP or Microsoft Active Directory, or even a simple text password kind of environment, so you can bring all of them under one hood. Slide number 9, please. Okay. So that is how complex it is when you go to the granular level. So let's move to slide number 10, please. Okay. So how HP comes to OpenStack? So and what is HP's contribution on OpenStack? So for the current release, HP has been the #1 or the top contributor with 3215 commits, and following which is Red Hat and IBM. So HP, Red Hat, IBM, Mirantis, Rackspace, all these have been the top contributor so far, and HP has contributed 90% of new code commit in Juno. And slide number 11, please. Okay, so HP joined OpenStack Foundation as a platinum member. So there are different types of members like gold, platinum, silver. So platinum to be the highest category. So we have 2 board members, Alien Evans and then there's another guy as well. So 3 elected members of the technical committee. Then legal affairs, incubation, election, training, and DevCore committees. Top community contributor, first in commits, first in reviews, fourth in lines of code for Juno as of July 1st, 2014. 5 PTLs, project technical leads, second overall in terms of 22 code reviewers, third overall. So just to let you know that we have entire division, HP Cloud, which is based on OpenStack, and we really take OpenStack seriously. So this is OpenStack is the foundation of HP's cloud portfolio and the cloud vision. Okay, so leading hybrid cloud offerings. We have been named as the leader in Forrester Web for private cloud, and which is also built on OpenStack technology. So that is HP Cloud System. One of the largest OpenStack-based public cloud infrastructure. So if you look at HP Public Cloud, it is one of the really top few public clouds based on OpenStack, apart from Rackspace Public Cloud. Dedicated stuff, we are the second largest contributor by employee for Icehouse, only company with dedicated resources to infrastructure. We have quite a few teams dedicated to only OpenStack, and OpenStack is one of the essential skills for HP's cloud division. Right. Leading and providing the majority of staff for continuous integration project, OO, Ironic, and Trove. So if you have been interested on a project like OO or Ironic or Trove, we have been giving a lot of code commits, a lot of technical inputs on this project. Continuous integration and development runs on HP's public cloud. So whatever we produce, we test, deploy, and integrate on our HP's public cloud. So whatever the solutions that we come up with as an Helion, or what we are going to come up with, is already tested. So you can be rest assured. So and that is tested on HP's public cloud. So it goes through a lot of benchmarking. So slide number 12, please. Thank you. So when I say HP Helion, I have spoken to a lot of meetups, spoken in a lot of meetups in across Asia, and then I met people in different countries, including US and other places in Europe. And they think that HP Helion is just a distribution, but it is not actually. So the distribution part, or the software distribution, is just one component of HP Helion. But when I say HP Helion, it's actually a portfolio or a suite of cloud products and services. So when I say products, so in the OpenStack distribution as well, we have currently 3 distributions. One is HP Helion Community Edition. Then there is the Commercial Edition, or we call it HP Helion OpenStack. Then we have HP Helion Development Edition, which is a PaaS, basically a Cloud Foundry on top of OpenStack. Then there are services. When I say services, is HP Public Cloud, Managed Cloud, and the Hybrid Cloud offerings, and then professional services, HP Helion Training and Education, etc. So which we'll cover in next few slides. Right. So this enables this entire portfolio of cloud products and services of HP Helion enables the organization to build, manage, consume workloads in a hybrid IT environment. So when I say build, manage, and consume workloads, is that so we help customers to plan, prepare for the cloud, to move their workloads into the cloud, to also have a greenfield project cloud, and then finally moving their apps, the applications, to the cloud as well. Okay, so over 2,000 companies have already chosen HP Helion worldwide. So these are some of the companies. Singtel in Singapore, Telefonica has just signed up. Telefonica is an service provider, and they have signed up a contract. It's a big contract for NFB project, and then there is British Telecom and McKinsey, Canadian Western Bank, and etc. Okay, so what makes HP number one in hybrid cloud? So the hybrid concept, I think HP was the primary one, or the first one to talk about hybrid cloud when everybody in the industry spoke about private cloud or public cloud. So HP was the first one who emphasized to the enterprise that yes, hybrid is the only way to go for the enterprise. It's not just private or not just public. So you can't exist as a silo in just in private and public, right? And if you looked at the Gartner reports, Gartner also says that hybrid is the way to go for enterprise, and that's where the enterprise will be moving to hybrid. So when I say hybrid, so what does it mean hybrid? So the dictionary definition of hybrid says that it's a combination of multiple things, right? So I mean, when you look at public clouds, whether it is Amazon AWS or Azure Public Cloud or even Microsoft Azure, right? So you can't run as an enterprise, you can't run your entire workload into public cloud, or you will always be skeptical to put your workload into public cloud. There are different restrictions, and there's security restrictions, and there are other legal restrictions are there as well, right? And then there is a compliance factor, etc. And the kind of control that you want to have on the public cloud is not really great, and defining SLAs or service level agreements also becomes a very how would I say, it's more like in what you get in the menu, so you can't customize the way you want it all the time, right? So that's about the public cloud. All the public cloud is cheaper. It's a great one to have. Then there is a private cloud, which has all the flexibilities to yourself. You can build the cloud, you can run and consume, you can do whatever you want. You can build on a HIPAA compliance, or if you do not want any compliance, so that's up to you. The data stays with you, the entire infrastructure is with you. You are the one who is managing, so that becomes easier. Then there is a managed cloud services where you basically manage the cloud. So somebody else manages for you, right? So okay, I think we are running short of time, so but we'll quickly go through the slides. So so vision for hybrid IT, HP innovation. Okay, so OpenStack commitment, lifecycle of services proven in the market, right? So okay, great. Let's move to the next slide, please. Okay, I think we'll just skip this, but we just wanted to say that we have invested $1 billion. We have promised to invest $1 billion investment in the next 2 years. Starting from last year. Okay, so next slide, please. So yeah, I think this is more of an interesting. So when we say about HP Helion, it's a private cloud like HP Cloud System, and HP Helion as well, and then managed private cloud. So what we provide as an HP Helion VPC, virtual private cloud, or PC, personal cloud, and then managed virtual private cloud, which is VPC, and then public cloud and SaaS, right? So when I say public cloud, so HP public cloud, hpcloud.com, and the SaaS, different HP softwares like ArcSight and etc. And cloud service automation, CSA-like softwares are going to be in a SaaS model. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so this particular slide explains what is HP Helion's portfolio is all about. So if you look at the integrated cloud solution, so when I say integrated cloud solution, is basically you get cloud in a box kind of environment, or I would say, it's more like an appliance. well, the appliance probably would not be the right term, but yeah, just for easy understanding. So, which is HP Cloud System Enterprise? It is a very hot selling HP Cloud System Enterprise and HP Cloud System Foundation. So, the difference between HP Cloud System Foundation and Enterprise is that Foundation is built on OpenStack. Enterprise also is built on OpenStack. So, Foundation doesn't have HP Cloud service automation software, which is an automation and orchestration leading tool in the market. So if you have played with BMC Lifecycle or Cisco ISE or VMware VCAC, so HP CSA is a leading one. Okay, now then there is an OpenStack software, so where you just get the software and you basically build either a small scale or at large, whether it is for community or service provider or an enterprise environment. So the topmost is HP Helion OpenStack, so which is basically the commercial or the enterprise grade product. It can scale up to 1,000 nodes. It has a very scalable architecture, and it integrates with the leading storage HP 3-Power and HP servers, ProLine servers, and others as well. And then there's the HP Helion OpenStack Community Edition, which you can download. So that's basically free. And whatever comes to community, that actually goes to HP Helion OpenStack, the commercial edition as well. HP Helion Development Platform, which is the PaaS edition, which is the PaaS edition. Where you have Cloud Foundry on top of HP Helion or on top of OpenStack. Now in the Cloud Foundry also, on the Development Edition also, you will see that there are two ones. One is an HP Helion Development Platform, and then there is a community one, right? Then we have cloud software and infrastructure, so HP Automation and Orchestration, where HP CSA and OO kind of environment, operation orchestration and cloud service automation. HP hybrid cloud management tools are there, HP convergent infrastructures are there, HP HCC is, etc. Right, the managed services is, which I just spoke about, is VPC and the PC, virtual private cloud and managed private cloud, and then there is a Helion managed and workplace application. So you get different workplace applications or end user applications as a SaaS environment. Then there is a public cloud and SaaS, so HP public cloud and SaaS applications. OpenStack Professional Service, that's one of the most interesting part of HP Helion. So where we have a dedicated arm, dedicated division of HP Helion OpenStack Professional Services, and we have one of the really excellent industry professionals who have joined us on the OpenStack Professional Services. So where we provide advisory. So basically, if you want to if you want to plan about your OpenStack deployment, you are not sure about it, you want to do this, so that's, and how to do your app transformation. So if you have a classic app like Microsoft Exchange or something like that, or you have a homegrown application and you want to move it to OpenStack environment or cloud, how do you want to do it, or whether it is feasible or not. Implementation, we take care of the implementation. Design, we take care of the design and architecture and consulting. Strategy, we define the strategy with you, short-term and long-term both. Operations, we take care of the operations as well. When I say operations, it's basically day-to-day maintenance and upgrading, patching, etc. Education, so when I say education, so HP Helion Education is there, so where you can actually sign up for classes. It's open for public. So there are foundation classes, there are networking classes, neutron classes, advanced classes like that. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so this is sorry. So HP Helion OpenStack. So this is the architecture of HP Helion OpenStack distribution, or the commercial edition or the enterprise edition. So if you look at, so there are different, the entire, it's more like an operating system, and you have an kernel-like structure, and then there are different subsystem environment, right? So on the bottommost you see the physical infrastructure. Then there is a host Linux, which is a custom Debian version of HP's Linux, which is called HLinux. So that is not commercially available. We don't sell HLinux. It is only for HP Helium OpenStack so far. Okay. So on the subsystem, we have the data replication, cluster management, centralized logging, infrastructure monitoring, and service metering. So if you look at the slide, you will see that the blue environment is all about HP's own Valuet, whereas the gray services or the gray boxes are OpenStack services, right? So infrastructure monitoring, where in the like Isinga monitoring and the log analyzer, like the Kibana ELK stack, which is Elastic Search, Logstash, and Kibana kind of environment. Service metering, so we use our own metering things. We also have tied up with Parallel for a different metering kind of environment, different metering facilities. Then there is, so you see on the top layer the base services, the content services, you see all the standard OpenStack services. Then on the base services, you see there is an admin dashboard and designer. We call it a CCU designer. When HP's thing, HP content distribution services, we call it a CDN, where you can basically go and download images and order services, etc. Then identity and key management services, so where we have made our own enhancement provisioning services and the service template repository, account integration services, metering, billing, etc. Now on the left hand side, you see the development dashboard, and there is inventory management, deployment modeling, and artifacts. Right. Next slide, please. Okay, so HP Helium OpenStack release 1 focus. So the slide has got a little changed, but yeah, I'll cover the major stuff. We have now come up with 1.1 version recently. If you have looked at the news, so that has gotten very warm welcome from the industry. So we provide cloud failover, active approach across all infrastructure services, whether it is Nova Center, controller services, but we don't provide on the VMs or the compute nodes. Okay. Scale out reference architecture. So it's a massively huge scale out reference architecture. So you can start from 1 or 2 and you can go up to thousands of nodes. Multi-hypervisor support. Currently, we support VMware vSphere and the Linux KVM, and we plan to support Hyper-V mostly in the next release. So that's not confirmed yet. On the networking part, we provide VXLAN and VLAN both. On the software-defined block storage scale-out, this is a very interesting area where we provide industry standard, industry-leading store virtual VSA, which was very popular as HP Lieutenant earlier, and also with 3PAR and LVM. Object storage scale-out Swift. So we have custom solution on Swift, which is in Swift on a box, basically. HP ProRAN servers, which are integrated with Swift to have a content depot solution, so which I can probably talk about in one of the next sessions in the ALs. Right, ease of development, update and upgrade. We take care. This is based on OOO currently, and so the patching and maintenance of the large scale infrastructure, large scale OpenStack becomes much easier for the administrators. Improved supportability and integration with ID process tools and identity integration. Internal usage reporting, LDAP and AD identity store integration, which I already spoke about. Centralized logging for monitoring and cloud health, cloud operational monitoring, which we spoke about. Isinga, Parallels integration for billing and metering. Let's move to the next slide, please. Okay, so that ends my discussion for HP Helium OpenStack, or the IIS section. So now I'll move to the HP Helium Development Platform to give you a short background about what is HP doing on the PaaS side, right? So what is HP Helium Development Platform, or what is HP doing on the PaaS front? So what we do is basically it is a cloud application platform and ecosystem that provides a polyglot runtime with integrated frameworks, applications, and highly available services. Okay, that's a complex definition. So to make it easier, it's based on Cloud Foundry. Cloud Foundry has been the industry standard, open standard, run by Pivotal and other platinum members like HP, IBM, SAP, and others. It is integrated with HP Helium OpenStack, so the underlying layer is HP Helium OpenStack. So basically, what you get is a Cloud Foundry on top of OpenStack. Okay, seamless developer experience. So developers just go there and without any hassle, they can start developing their applications and porting their applications the VMs. Right, Community Edition is available. So if you are a developer, if you want to download the Community Edition, go ahead and feel free to do it. What's cool and beneficial for customers: rapidly develop and deploy cloud-native applications. So if you want to develop the new age applications or the cloud native applications, so you really don't have to wait for your underlying infrastructure to be provisioned. Right. And build in auto scaling. So if you want to start with small and if you want to go on a high availability, so that is available on HTTP or Helium Development Platform. It supports popular languages and frameworks, all the new age frameworks and the languages like Java, Python, Ruby, PHP, Node.js. Are all available, and it also uses the all open source like MySQL, RabbitMQ, Memcache, etc. Next slide, please. Okay, so as I said, so the most benefit that HDB provides is that it allows developers to spend more time in coding and less time managing resources. So they said that, okay, we are developers, so we want to just develop applications. Let the infrastructure be managed by somebody else. And that's what all cloud is all about, right? So accelerate and simplify the development and delivery of cloud native applications. So if you're, unless you are developing, old age applications, and you are interested to develop cloud native applications with the tools like Python, etc., Python, MongoDB, etc. So this becomes a wonderful platform. You can quickly get started because everything is already there. You just go and request, and it's already. It gets provisions in less than a few minutes. Right. Features: instantly provision and deploy development environment on pre-configured infrastructure, utilize a common platform across development, test, and production, easy intuitive consoles and open APIs, provide best practices, sample code, documentation, and discussion forums. So as a developer, I remember, to develop an application, so I had to get the sample code from somewhere, get the documentation from somewhere, and ask someone. So all these are available on the HP HDP PaaS environment. Slide number 20, please. Thank you. Okay, so this is open interoperable platform for developers based on Cloud Foundry and built for HP Helium OpenStack. It enables application portability across hybrid clouds. So if you have developed applications which are cloud native and you want to move your application from one hybrid cloud environment to another hybrid cloud, so that is possible. Provides developers with a wide range of integration tools, so you are not stuck with just one integrated development environment, but you haven't. So if you want to use .NET, if you want to use PHP framework, if you want to use other, so that is also possible. Prevents vendor lock-in because you have so many options, and so there is no vendor lock-in, and moreover, it is open source. right? HP Helium Development Platform for Application Runtime, IS layer abstraction and simplification. So the developer doesn't need to know what is happening on the infrastructure layer. It is already taken care of. He, previously, so he doesn't have to really bother about what is the configuration of my, the server or the machine that is going to host my that particular development environment is. So cluster of VMs and services working together inside an OpenStack tenant supports multiple programming languages such as Java, Ruby, Python. Attached additional services, MySQL, RabbitMQ, Redis, and Memcache, etc. Slide number 24, please. Okay, HP and Cloud Foundry. So HP was one of the very first few ones to join as Cloud Foundry, and so if you look at Pivotal announced in 2011 Cloud Foundry. So Pivotal was a spin-off from VMware and EMC. And then there was in 2012, there was a commercial product release began, and HP joined in 2013 as a private beta. And but in 2014, HP took the platinum sponsorship. And eventually other companies they joined this. I think HP and IBM were one of the first few ones to join the Cloud Foundry. Okay. So I'll skip this slide. Slide number 25, please. Okay, optimizing Cloud Foundry. So possible integration between Cloud Foundry and OpenStack technology. Keystone integration. So you want a same authentication for your developers and with your OpenStack. That is possible. Trove DBaaS integration. So now there is a project database as a service in OpenStack which is called Trove, and so possibly that Trove can be integrated with the Cloud Foundry environment as a database thing. Or even providing for the development environment to use Trove databases as well. So other key integration points is the Marconi and then the Neutron, LBAS, load balancing as a service, and DNS as a service. So Cloud Foundry UI conceptual integration to OpenStack. Next slide, please. Okay, it offers secure, scalable performance. It's enterprise quality cloud native applications, integrated HP and OpenStack, hardened and tested and scale. Yeah, slide number 30, please. Sorry, 29. Let's go to 29. Okay, so if you go to the so if you want to download HP Helium, so you go to the Helium. So if you want to know about HP Helium, you go to www.hp.com/Helium. If you want to download HP Helium distributions, go to https://helium.hpsw, so hpsoftwareportal.com, and you can download the Helium Community Edition, and then there is an development community